cure for cancer is the holy grail of medical research, but it's still a long way off. Meanwhile, there are many new cancer treatments in the pipeline. One of the most exciting and imaginative new developments of the last 20 years is currently being trialled on our canine cousins.
Tucker, you want to go for a walk? You want to go for a walk? Come on. You want to go for a walk?
Meet one of the luckiest dogs in the world. Not only does Tucker have a faithful master, Ken,
Come on, let's go.
who lets him roam and swim to his heart's content around beautiful Lake Gaston in North Carolina, he's also had a reprieve from almost certain death. Tucker has a malignant tumour on his thigh. Surgery helped for a while, but the tumour grew back and the cancer spread to his chest. Not that Tucker seemed to notice.
Atta boy.
At the 11th hour, Ken learned of an experimental technique that offered his dog a slim hope.
I was very concerned about him because I've had him a long time and he's been my buddy. I felt that if there was a chance that he could have a recovery, that would be great. However, I also felt that if it didn't recover and they could learn something from doing it, it would be worth it.
To get the experimental treatment, Tucker had to come here to the veterinary college at North Carolina State University. It was actually a trial for a novel new medical procedure that, if successful, could dramatically change the way that cancer, especially the solid tumour variety, is treated in people. It targets a great clinical problem: how to administer anti-cancer drugs without sickening the patient. Powerful drugs like doxorubicin are proven cancer killers, but the most effective doses also threaten the heart.
Tumor looks smaller today, you think?
Yeah, I think it's decreased considerably since the last treatment.
Okay, all right, 1, 2, 3.
What they'll attempt today is to give Tucker a potent dose of doxorubicin, but it will be packaged inside microscopic capsules of wax or lipid known as liposomes. Liposomes aren't new. They've been used for 20 years or so, but the problem has been how to get them to their target deep inside the body and then release their cargo. Fortunately, tumours have a structural weakness that medicine can exploit. The blood vessels that wind through them have leaky walls. This means that liposomes can pass out of the blood and accumulate inside a tumour. What's more, researchers here recently learned that raising the temperature adds to the effect.
There's no question that heating the tumor in conjunction with giving the liposomes further opens up these pores in the vessels, allowing more liposomes to get into the tumor. So that's a big step forward.
But getting the tiny capsules safely inside a tumour is only half the solution. At nearby Duke University, oncologist Mark Dewhurst has been trying to persuade the liposomes to give up their contents once they reach their destination. In test after test, he could only get them to release a slow trickle of the drug, scarcely any better than a straightforward infusion.
I was just thinking, David...
Mark teamed up with materials engineer David Needham to see if they could build a better liposome, one that would release its drug fast and at just the right temperature.
But the trick is to find a lipid that melts just above body temperature so that when it's injected into the body, it's still solid. It has to be impenetrable and solid at 37 degrees body temperature, but leak at 41.
Because liposomes are much too tiny to glimpse, let alone manipulate, David started experimenting with larger bubbles of lipid, trying to find a formula that behaved just the way he wanted. It took him 10 years to discover two particular oils that, when mixed, produced a unique microstructure. A capsule solid enough to carry a drug, but with a built-in quick-release mechanism.
The solid structure resembles a soccer ball. When that soccer ball melts, the first to melt are the stitches in the soccer ball. And that melting of those boundaries creates the permeability.
In the test tube, heating the new design liposomes by just 3 degrees made them give up their contents in a burst, releasing 50% of the drug in a record 20 seconds. But would it work just as well in the body? That's where Tucker entered the story. He's only the 4th dog in the world to receive this treatment. A rotating microwave device will heat the tumour to 41 degrees, hopefully enough to concentrate and release the cancer drug. As the liposomes begin flowing into his veins, Tucker's heart reacts.
Oh, his heart rate's going up with the infusion. It's gone from 60 to 74.
Everyone holds their breath as Tucker's rate peaks at 124. There's a real fear that the liposome package may be too toxic. The crisis passes, and an hour later, the patient makes a groggy return to the land of the living.
I think he's ready to go back. Ready to go? Good boy, Tucker.
In the weeks to come, they'll learn if the cancer drug reached its target. But in experiments with mice, the new liposome design has already delivered extraordinary results.
We actually get about a 30-fold increase in drug delivery compared to free drug, and about a 4-fold increase compared to other liposomes. Instead of having just growth delay, we actually cure mice, and that's a big difference.
2 days after the procedure, Tucker isn't up to chasing squirrels yet, but Ken and Phyllis can already see an improvement in his health.
That lump has gone down so much.
Yeah, it's almost back to normal.
Assuming that no problems surface with the dog trials, humans will be the next trial recipients of heat-activated liposomes. If all goes to plan, locally advanced forms of cancer, like cancer of the breast, prostate and cervix, that at present are difficult to treat, will feel the greatest impact of this novel medical weapon.